Hello. I've been trying to use up the supplies that I already have rather than buy more. And I found four small canvases. They're 8 by 8, chunky edge, and I got them in a charity shop probably years ago and have never used them. So I got these canvases out and thought I could work on a little series of four and possibly on a theme. Looking back over my phone photographs of day trips we have had over the summer and narrowed it down to the theme of Mourne Country, which is the countryside in and around the Mourne Mountains of County Down, Northern Ireland. And as you'll see, I picked four places: Dundrum Castle, Murlough Nature Reserve, and the Murlough Beach, and then up into the mountains to see the Legananny Dolmen, which is a prehistoric site. In case you're wondering, the painting in the background is one in progress. It's a bigger one and was inspired by the same area. There was a farm we came upon up near Legananny Dolmen, and I just loved how the cows were so relaxed, sitting in the grass just over the wall. They all seemed to be looking my direction when I was taking the photo. I made the paintings over the course of a month, averaging maybe one a week. And I pre-mixed my paints in little pots so that the colours would be used throughout the four paintings, with a little variation for when needed, but generally the same paints in all four. So I mixed a lot of greens up in advance in these wee pots, but I didn't use them all. But just to remind me of some of the mixes, I made a little chart, and then I covered the pots up with a bit of paper and put the lid on the box, and that kept them between painting sessions. There's a little bit about the places as the video goes on, and you'll see a couple of sketches along the way, and the paintings that I made are at the end. This is Dundrum Castle, and it's believed to have been built around 1177 when the Anglo-Norman knights first came to Ireland on the invitation of an Irish king who wanted to regain his kingship after being ousted. We love coming to visit the castle, and the tower has never been opened when we have been there in the past, and this day that we arrived, we were lucky enough to be able to go up to the top, and neither of us really like heights, but we had to see the view from the top. Although, as it turned out, it was so cloudy, I couldn't see the mountains at all. So I've put in some photos of a previous trip when it was a beautiful day and the view was far better, but from lower down. So we really enjoyed seeing from the top of the castle and the old graffiti that has been put there over the years inside, and just nice to do something different. But we normally like to go there just for the walk around the perimeter through the trees, and that's always lovely to do. And just like to think of all the people that have walked those pathways over the hundreds of years before us. And it just reminds you you're not here for that long in the big scheme of things. Next, we have Murlough Nature Reserve. It's a nice walk, and on this occasion I was surprised to see up ahead on the pathway through the sand dunes that the cows from nearby had come down to graze and were probably heading to the beach later themselves. It just made a lovely sight. And it leads down to Murlough Beach with lovely views of the mountain again and lots of seaside. Then down on the beach, it's a very big beach, lots of miles to walk. I like a little paddle sometimes in the shallows, and the views of the mountains are spectacular. Makes me always think of the song The Mountains of Mourne by Percy French, and that famous line where the mountains of Mourne sweep down to the sea. Then a short drive, not that far, up into the mountains, we found Legananny Dolmen, which apparently is the most photogenic, most famous megalithic monument in Northern Ireland, although we'd never been before. And this was a spectacularly hot day, and we had the place to ourselves, apart from the cows. That's and a farmer who appeared to feed them later on that day. There was no one else about, so we were able to sit for ages and walk about and contemplate, so it was lovely. And I read the notice board, the information board at the site, and the name Legananny comes from the Irish for the pillar of stone of Anya. Anya being a mythical goddess. And this site, it's high up on the slopes of Slieve Crib, and it's approximately 5,000 years old, which takes you down to the Neolithic period. And if you made it to the end, thanks for watching.